How successful can you be? Better yet, how much money can you make? That's what the title of this subject is. If you look up here, I'm trying to get the first, bull first or bear first. In this case, the bull first is 0 for 0, so I'm not going to look for those. Bear first is 5 out of 7 of a possible 5. That looks pretty good. And notice that it says that's you can if you go for a bear, you can get 50 cents on average, and then which is 5.8%. And that's based on this stock right here, HMNY, which is selling for $9 or $10 a share. Down here, it's like $8 a share. So let's look at this. How successful can we be? I customized this, as talking about earlier, using this Flask here. I can customize things. And so what I customized it for was, since bull first was 0 of 0, I said ignore. I don't want to see any of the bull firsts arrows down here. I also didn't want to see any bull any's, because bull any's are 0 for 0. Rest of them look pretty good. Bear any is 6 of 6. This is 2 of 3, 3 of 4. So everything looks good. Now I wanted to figure out which stocks to look at. Now if you look at VWAP to close at bear first, 3 of 4, that's pretty good. I like bear VWAP to close. Stochastics, 1 of 1, that's great. That's 100%. XLD sell, 5 of 7. It's pretty good, but I didn't select that. And then VWAP 3-day is 3 of 4. That's good too. So I wanted to look at those 3 stocks: VWAP, and Stochastics. So over here you'll notice that it says VWAP 3-day, Stochastics, and VWAP to close. And I'm going to use these 3 guys, you can see their arrows out here, to help vote. Okay, so let's go through this. We're looking at 10-day period of time. The last day we have to throw out because we can make predictions, but we can't tell how successful we're going to be if we look at this last day. This first day, really there was only one of the composites that's showing up, so we wouldn't use this, make a bet on this stock for that day. Same now over here. The next day you have three of them that all say down. 3 composites down, down, down. That is awesome. If you look at this indicator here, it's down. That indicator down, and this indicator right here, there's no arrows at the end of the day, so that doesn't count. We have 5 guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 predictors. They all vote that are voting down. What happened? Here's the closing bar, and the price went down, 44 cents profit. Very good. So this one was, we would have bet this day and would have been successful. This next day we have 1 up and 1 down. So there's only 2 composites and they disagree. That's not looking like we want to bet that on this, making predictions that day. Let's look at the arrows. 1 up, 2 up. This one didn't make it to the end of the day, but it's looking like it's going down. So I guess we could. This guy has 2 arrows up, 1 composite up, and 1 down. So it's 3 voters are saying up, 1 saying down. Let's go for it. End of the day here. Here's the closing day, and then the next day, look, it went up. So we're 2 for 2 of trades we would have taken. Then the next day, it says down, down, down. This is looking very good. We look at the arrows, down, down. 5 out of 5 say down. Here's the closing bar. And basically, it went up, but if we would have taken a bet down, we probably could have made it. So we could say that this was a victory too. Or we could say it's a loss, because I'm not sure what we would have bid for how much we would have said the selling price we wanted. Well, anyways, let's continue on. So it's 2 for 3 or 3 for 3. This day is down, down, up. So it's 2 of 3 say down. Now arrows say up, down. I'm gonna say it's a split day. Let's not argue. Let's not bet on that day. This one says up. This is up. 2 of the 3 say go up. Probably, I would say there aren't any downs. Let's go for it. And what happened? Closing, and it went up. So we're 3 for 4, 4 for 4. This one down, down, down. The arrows are down. So basically, this is total good signs. Here's where we're at close of the day, and matter of fact, it went hugely down. So we're either, I can't remember now, 4 for 5 or 5 for 5. Let's look at this day. Down, down. Arrow says up, arrow says down, arrow says down. So 4 indicators say 4 votes down, 1 up. What happened? We're right here at the end of the day, and it went boom down. So now we're 6 for 6 or 5 for 6, depending on how we count that 1 vote. Let's say say we're 5 for 6, and the last one, it says down, down, 1 arrow down. So 3 vote for and 1 up. 3 down, 1 up. So the downs have it. Here we are at the end of the day, and boom, we got it down. So let's say we're 6 for 7. 6 for 7 is, let's figure this out. 6 divided by 7 equals 85 or 86%. So I'm telling you, using this methodology, this is like a typical success rate, 85%. Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you that is this thing says 5 of 7, and 5 of 7 equals 71%. So if all you do is look at one indicator, this one right here, and that's the only composite you look at, and ignore everything else, you're going to get 70%, which is awesome. But if you use all the indicators, these composite indicators, as well as the successful individual indicators down these arrows here, you're going to get 85%, which I think is 85-9% is typical. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's see this answer to the question. How much can I make? And this is, I'm using the HMNY stock. And again, I'm circling this thing here. It says the average you can make is 51 cents, and which is 5.8%. But I found I probably could make a more realistic profit prediction here. It says 51%. I really think it's less than that. So let's be really conservative. Actually, I found a mistake. 51 and 5.8%. Let's take a third of that number. So if we take a third of 51, we're saying we think we can make 17 cents on the bear, and which is about 1.9% gain, profit, interest rate, how you want to call it. Again, the statistics say 5 for 7, but like I just showed you, we usually make 85% or more. But using, again, 70%, conservative numbers, instead of the 85%, let's figure out what's going on. So in 10 trading days, 70% success rate means that we would win 77 of those 10 days, 70%, but 3 of the days we'd lose. So since we lose money, and that comes out of, and this 7 days winning. So if you subtract the 2, we end up with 4 wins, that we net 4 wins. We net out of 10 days, okay? So 40% of the time, 4 out of 10 days, is how much money we're going to be making net. And on those 40% of the days, we make roughly 1.9%. Of course, this doesn't take into account broker fees. So let's look at some stuff here. First, though, let's say like in 1 year there are 52 weeks, 5 trading days per week, and there's 260 trading days in a year. But things come up. We're not going to trade all those days. There's vacation. There's holidays. So let's just say we trade 200 days of those days. And let's just ignore compound interest. If we have 200 days a year and our net is 40% of those days, we net making money. That's 800 days of the year that we make money. Now we make, of those 80 days, we make 1.9% interest. This equates to about 152% interest in a year. So that's over doubling your money. It's double and a half your money. It's like super good, super good. So let's look at some more details. Let's look at some real examples. Now, Hominy is about $10 a share. We saw HMNY. And let's say we had $4,000 to invest, and since it's $10 a share, we end up with 4,000 divided by 10 is 400 shares that we're going to buy. And from this previous slide, over here it says we make 17 cents. We're going to try to make 17-cent profit per share. That's over here, 17 cents. So we go back here, 17 cents per profit per share. We got 400 shares times 17 cents per share. We get 68 bucks. And I can see that doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, we're going to do this 80 times a year, and we're only investing $4,000. So if we subtract off a brokerage fee, for example, Fidelity is $5 to sell and $5 to buy, so $10 total. So we subtract off 10 bucks, and we're at 68 minus 10 is $58. Now we have 80 days of trading. That's from the previous slide. And each of those 80 days we end up doing $58. So you end up with 4,640 bucks. We started out with $4,000, and after 1 year we got $4,640. So I want you to think of this as in a different way. Suppose that you wanted to make $58 an hour working. Well, if you had $4,000 of money to invest, you could make $58 in a day. But if you had 8 times this amount, which would be $32,000, you could make 58 times 8 a day. So if you're working 8 hours a day, you can make $58 a day, an hour every day. Well, in this case, 80 days. Or you might look at it like if you wanted to make half that amount, say around 29 or $30, say $30 an hour, right? If you wanted to make $30 an hour for 160 days a year, well, you would need $32,000 to invest. And you say, well, $32,000, that's a lot of money. Well, look at this. You start out with $4,000, and after 1 year, you over double it. Now you got like $9,000, and 1 more year you over double it again. Now you got $18,000, and then the next year you got 18 times 2, $36,000. So in 3 years you have enough money to be making $30 an hour for 160 days of the year. I hope you see how cool this is.